Hey everyone, it's Jenna Melanson from Canadian Beats Media. I'm joined today by Duane D.O. Gibson for our latest segment of 5Qs. Welcome, Duane.
Oh, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So before we get into the interview, care to introduce yourself in a bit more depth?
Yeah, my name is Duane Gibson. My friends call me D.O., and that stands for Defy the Odds. And Defy the Odds means to me is going against obstacles, going against people that say you can't do anything, and going for your goal and going for your dream. And for the last 20 years, I set a Guinness World Record. I've toured the world, and I've done over 3,500 shows.
Holy. um, you recently okay, you're unveiling your single Appreciate Ya.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the writing process behind that release.
Well, I was in Dominican Republic, and I've been talking to Socrates, and I've always looked up to Socrates as one of the greatest producers from our country and one of the greatest producers in hip hop. And he sent me this beat, and I was just leaving the resort. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, I got to write a song to this. But I just can't rap to it. I have to write a song. And I started thinking about my mother. And I thought about how my mother raised me, because there's a lot of people that grew up like me. And what I mean by that is I'm Black, but my mother is white. And my mother raised me to be a strong man and to know that I'm a Black man. But it wasn't like I had to choose that I'm Black. I have a white mother. I have a great family on both sides of my family. But she just raised me to be a man. And my second verse is dedicated to Black women, because while my mother raised me, I was also raised by a community of women. And it starts with my grandmother, who I used to go see in Whitney Pier in Cape Breton. And it runs on through to my aunts and my cousins. And I'm rapping about how women really influence young people, especially young men. So I appreciate you.
Awesome. The single features fellow Canadian artist Jordan. How was the experience of working with him on the track?
I love working with Jordan, because Jordan to me is not just a music industry friend. He's my brother, and I love that guy. And we came up together, and I got to see him reach the peaks. I saw him go through the valleys, but then I saw him get back to the peaks. And as a singer, sometimes in the music business, that's what you have to go through. But he said to me when we wrote the song, he said, D.O., I always love when you hit me up, because I know the song's going to be about something. You're not just rapping about nothing. There's always a meaning behind what you're doing. And thank you for having me part of this. And I'm just like, no, man, brother, thank you for being part of this. And, it's really cool to have a friendship like that in music that has lasted almost 20 years. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for that man, his family, and what he's achieved as an artist. And to me, it's just so cool that he's my buddy. Like he's my boy.
For sure. So in January 2023, you launched your Black Canadian 365 tour, which is currently still happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just came from a show.
Exactly, yes. So you've done more than 130?
Oh, we're at 160 now.
160, okay. And tell us a bit more about what this is all about.
Well, Black Canadian 365 was intentional in the sense that everybody would always say, we need to do Black history outside of February. Over the last few years, it's actually happened. So I toured in British Columbia in January, and I was so honored to do the Michael J. Fox Theater. I did a residency there for 5 days. I did 3 shows a day, and I got to teach and educate youth from British Columbia about Black Canadian history. And one of the key parts about Black Canadian history is Nova Scotia. And I love being able to tell kids okay, you see that $10 bill, but do you know the woman behind it? And Viola Desmond isn't just a woman that sat down in a movie theater. She's an entrepreneur. So I get to tell kids that women are bosses and women have done this in this country. And it's not that they just did it for themselves. Viola Desmond also ran a beautician school to help young Black women become entrepreneurs themselves. So I love that element. And now I'm talking about mental health. And I love being able to talk to kids and see what they're going through, but let them know that, you got to stay driven, that you're going to have challenges in life, but go through them. And finally, I tell them, who do you look up to? Because I think it's a really important thing to have role models. And I do not believe your role model should be Andrew Tate. My role model is a fellow Nova Scotian named The Rock. And I love The Rock because he doesn't brag about himself. He inspires me to work harder. And I think that's what your role model should do, is inspire you to work harder. So I love being able to give that message to kids.
In addition, you're gearing up to headline a fundraising event from Margins to Mainstream in Toronto at the Warehouse on the 29th. Care to expand on this?
I think it's really important that we value education in youth. And so I love being a rapper. I've had a great career doing it. But now I'm thinking about what can we do to help people? And so my partner, Uncle Kev from Master Move Rise, we came up with an idea to partner with Michael Pinball Clemens Foundation and to put on a fundraiser event that is going to raise money for education for marginalized youth. And we have some of the city's greatest talent, the emerging talent that are doing big things. And I love being able to put on an event that is going to celebrate our emerging talent from this city of Toronto, but also go to a mission. And we want to change a youth's life by us helping foster their education. And I think through education, you can achieve a lot. So I'm glad that we're contributing to an event that is going to help and benefit young people.
Do you have anything else up your sleeves for the remainder of 2023?
I always got something up my sleeve. I'm working on a new album, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm coming down to Nova Scotia next week. I'm going to link up with my man Classified. And I love being able to just make music at this phase of my career. I've been doing this for 20 years, but now it's about how can we involve the young artists coming up and feature them on my songs, and how can we make some great music that inspires and uplifts people. And that's really my mission. Is I think, when I was growing up, I loved hip hop because those artists inspired me to do better as a person. And I want to make music that inspires the new generation of people to go for their dreams, knock it out the park. Whether people believe in you or not, you can defy the odds.
Yeah. Love it. This was a great chat. Thank you for joining me. It's always great to learn more about you and what you're up to.
I appreciate it.